Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's things where you are? Hope everything is going good. Things here are pretty darn good. I don't really have a whole lot to mention, so I don't have anything to review. I don't have any life lessons today. It's just turn on the camera and say hi to my friends day. And it used to be Fridays I tried to include you into the show. And I would do community day, like you could send me pictures or your projects and I would talk about the projects that you've done, or you could call into the show. I don't know if you know this, but at the end of every episode there's a phone number, and that phone number is a voicemail number. You can leave me voicemail, and I've had some people do it over the years and have not wanted it on the show, and then I have some who have. And I used to have this little box, and I still have it. It's still right here. It used to sit here every day during the show. And in fact, I made a little wall hanger so that when I wasn't doing the show, I could put it over there. This little box plays a bunch of noises and stuff. And I did a video on how to make it a while ago. And in fact, it had to have been... It was before I had the planer, because I wouldn't have let these sides be quite this thick. But this is all walnut. This is mahogany, like door skin material. It's all shellacked and pretty, and look how dirty it is. So I used to be able to play your voicemails from this, and I tried to put a lot more effort into this little program and make it more of like a show. And every time I tried to introduce something more, it got really frustrating because there was no payoff. Like the show's never been a thing that was going to make anything. It was never going to be a project that I could pour myself into the way that I like to pour myself into projects. I like to pour myself into things sometimes too aggressively, I should say. I like to really kind of go for it. And for a little while, I thought I was going to do that here. And I thought that I was going to be able to do that with projects on the table saw and, at the miter saw station and here at this desk. And that this would be kind of filler. That talking to you would be something that I do to bridge the gap between projects. So I did project videos. You can go watch this one. There's project videos on, I made a dog gate for over there. There's project videos for stuff I made back here. There's maybe even a couple of like larger builds. I'm not positive what all I filmed and didn't film. I made these really cool stomp boxes that I use at work, and I think I've shown them before, but they're basically 4 guitar pedal push buttons. So I took push buttons from guitar pedals and attached those to an Arduino trinket, and so I can make them macro keys, and they could be on the floor, and I can just be like macro, So I set those up a lot of times if I'm doing bigger like page redesigns and stuff where I have to insert a lot of divs and stuff. I'll set it up to just type that stuff out for me so I don't have to think. But I never did a video for that. I recorded it. I know I did. I have footage of how to do it, and I never did it. And I think about this stuff a lot because when somebody asks me to make something, I get really excited because it gives me an excuse to be in here. But when I'm just left to my own devices, I don't end up spending a lot of time in here. And I think part of that is just the fact that woodworking is kind of expensive. And I say that because the stuff that you would want to build can be expensive. If you want to make your own furniture, it's expensive. It's going to cost you more than it would cost to go buy it at Walmart or IKEA. It's not going to be as nice if you buy it at Walmart or IKEA, but it's going to cost more. And so a lot of people factor that in, or a lot of people don't factor that in when they start getting tools and equipment. Like, I'm going to be a woodworker. I'm going to make a dresser. Okay. Go for it. I don't have the money. I don't have the kind of money it would take to do those types of builds. If I did, I would have nicer things in my house. But so it's always been kind of a struggle for me to figure out what to make project videos of, because all I'm working with is like a bunch of scrap wood, and what kind of projects can I make that excite me. and there aren't a lot. I don't get excited about making little boxes, little jewelry holders, or little things that would just kind of get thrown away. I want to make something that I'm going to use and keep using, and so the projects have always been kind of, well, they've been kind of non-existent because I don't make things for myself. If I make something, it's a project for somebody else, like the little characters or stuff for my mom, and that stuff isn't really filmable because it's usually crafty or just kind of crank it out real quick kind of stuff. And so the channel has never really been a thing, and I don't think it ever will be. But the cool part is I don't care. The cool part is I keep turning the camera on, even on days like today when work was a little overwhelming today. I'm back on working on our huge legacy project. We have a project that's been in active development for like 20 years with a single developer, and so when projects get that big and that old and that cumbersome, they can be overwhelming to jump into, and it needs jumped into. Somebody needs to take some paddles to it and get it off of defib it and get it pumping correctly again. And me and the original developer, that's our task right now. And so it's a big product that I really have to put a lot of energy into, and that can be a challenge. But it leaves me on days like today. I just kind of came home exhausted, just mentally exhausted from it. And I took a little nap, and I'm good now. And I'm alone this weekend. Won't have anybody here, so hopefully we'll get some stuff done, like these things, or a sign I need to make for my mom, or some trim work that I need to make for upstairs, that sort of stuff. So there's stuff to be done. Whether I turn the camera on or not, I don't know. I don't even know if it's worth it anymore. I don't know if it's worth me doing that. I don't want to ever take away from this little diary. I want to keep this going for as long as possible, regardless of whether anybody watches it or not. I'm going to keep doing it for me. So the question I'm struggling with right now is, I put energy into this space as a recording space. I have sound panels and stuff that I made to work on echo, and I feel like I need to use it for that. I just have to find the inspiration to do that. And I don't know what that is. So I'm going to keep looking, and maybe I'll find it. Maybe I won't. Maybe soon you'll see more projects, but I need the inspiration, I think. Or I need the clients that have the ideas and they have the funds to purchase me the wood, and then I get to film it. That's the other option. So I might start looking for that. We'll see. Thank you for being here as always. I hope you have a really good weekend, and I really appreciate you making me a part of your day. I really appreciate you coming back and checking in on me. It makes me feel special and wonderful, and I am honored to have a group of friends like you. So thank you. I'll see you on Monday.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from loc.gov. When was Alaska purchased? March 30th, 1867, the United States reached an agreement to purchase Alaska from Russia for a price of $7.2 million. The treaty with Russia was negotiated and signed by Secretary of State William Seward and Russian Minister to the United States Eduard de Stoico.